Hey college football fans, a little double dip for you here. This is episode 21 of Walk It Off with Chappy, and so I'm going to throw this question out to all Big Ten fans, but especially my guys Big Kurt and Jeffrey the Greek on the Eyes on Big podcast. Give them a listen. But my question is, the SEC is going to 16 teams, the ACC, Pac-12 are thinking about it. We know that the Big Ten is right in that mix too, so who should the Big Ten target to get to that 16 number? The most commonly expressed answers have been Kansas and maybe Iowa State, both from the Big 12. We've heard, Notre Dame, you can just write them off because they're pretty much tied to the ACC. But I think if you're going from an athletic standpoint, Oklahoma State is a much better option from the Big 12, more so than Kansas. Now, Oklahoma State's not one of those AAU members, which Kansas is, but if you're going through top to bottom, academics, market, whatnot, yeah, Kansas, you get the Kansas City market, Wichita market, but I think that Oklahoma State, you're close enough to the Dallas-Fort Worth, you're still somewhat close to the Midwest, Kansas City market, that I think that would be a good footprint. I think top to bottom, the athletics and the money and the revenue that you can generate from Oklahoma State would be a far better option. And Oklahoma State, as I was reading, has approached the Big Ten and asked them about their interest, as has Kansas. I think if you're going to go from not just marketing and revenue, but also an academic standpoint, the ACC, you want to try and poach some of those schools, namely North Carolina, because you got that Charlotte market and you've got a great athletic program there, pretty good academics. Virginia's another one. Pitt, Boston College, because Pitt, you would have that in-state rivalry with Penn State. Boston College, you get that Boston market, so the Big Ten footprint extends from beyond Piscataway, New Jersey, and in that New York market, but now you're going up to Boston, Massachusetts. I think that would be a good one. And academics are pretty stout at Boston College, but if you're looking overall top to bottom, I would say Oklahoma's your number one target, and then you go to North Carolina if you can get that. My other question is, would the ACC try and take Penn State, and would Penn State be open to that because they wouldn't have to be in the Big Ten East anymore with Ohio State and Michigan? They don't have to worry about playing second fiddle, and I have to think, and no disrespect to Penn State fans, I'm not saying Penn State can't do that, but why fight that fight if you don't have to, when you can go to the ACC and potentially be a little bit more competitive and maybe be the top dogs there? So something to watch for, and I'd love to hear the reactions from our guys on the Eyes on Big podcast, as well as all of you Big Ten college football fans. Thanks for following. Hit with the comments and the replies.